Ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally come. The moment you've all been waiting for. James Gunn, TM's Superman TM is finally out in theaters. I was a good boy and I avoided the high seas and paid actual money to see it in theaters to tell you once and for all if all this hype and build-up for the movie, James Gunn, and the new DCU was actually warranted. Not only that, but if the film itself is as good as everybody was hoping it would be. Well, without further ado, let me tell you all what I think. In person!
It was shit.
Ooh, what a bummer. I wish I could say I didn't see this coming, but all the red flags were there. This movie isn't mid, it's not mediocre, it's fucking god-awful in every aspect possible. The writing, the casting, the visual effects, and the absolutely abhorrent corruption of not only the character of Superman, but the core moral lessons that are inherent to the idea of the world's greatest and most famous superhero. This is Zoomer Superman, an ADHD brain-rot modern movie for the TikTok generation. It's nothing but lights and sounds and shitty jokes and grown men crying at every possible opportunity because masculinity and stoicism are outlawed these days. I wasn't sure how to structure this video because I don't have a copy of the film, so I'm not planning on doing an in-depth breakdown just yet. More so just an initial reaction and first thoughts after seeing the movie. In fact, I decided to do something a little different this time. I dragged my lovely girlfriend to the theater to suffer with me as she has a passing interest in Superman, to get her thoughts on the film compared to the other versions she's seen. She had the brilliant idea of bringing her digital recorder to preserve our immediate out-of-the-theater reaction to the movie, unfiltered and uncensored on the car ride home. I can't think of a better way to give you our thoughts than to simply play the recording, so without further ado...
Anyway, so like I was saying, that's absolute dog shit.
Vent! Tell me all of your thoughts. Tell me how that $365 million movie is worse than Jurassic Park 2.
In every way possible. In every
First of all,
way possible, it's
no
worse.
dinosaurs. Second of all,
no dinosaurs. So
no
that's a
Jeff
huge
Goldblum.
drawback. No one was in it, like actor-wise, that I really cared about or knew as well. Whereas
Really,
like
like-
Jurassic Park 2 at least had Jeff Goldblum. Like
I said the only that's weird to say. The only fucking famous person in it, from my perspective, someone who's getting work and is relevant right now, is fucking Nicholas Hoult. And I'm like, he's not even that
Oh,
big.
that's a good point.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
after this, I feel like he's not going to get a lot of roles.
I love Nathan Fillion, but I'm not going to pretend like he's a big draw. He's a TV actor.
And which character was he?
Guy Gardner,
And which character is that?
Green Lantern.
Oh.
The worst Green Lantern.
Well, yeah, and also his hair was just unbelievably
Well,
awful.
and so that is
I was confused about what era were you setting this in because a lot of their hair looked like old. Like his was a straight 80s bowl
yeah,
cut
that's
for
the
some
thing.
reason.
That's James's new thing is he likes to lean into the stupid part of comic books, and Guy Gardner has a dumb fucking bowl cut.
But if you're in the modern era and everyone is using social media and you have drones and you're creating riffs out of fucking nanotech or whatever was happening, you can get a better haircut.
He can.
You would not have an 80s bowl cut haircut.
And so
You wouldn't.
even in the comics, when that became not in fashion anymore, they changed it to a buzz cut, like a crew cut, a military
sure.
style, Caesar type cut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's still kind of a strange hair choice, and it fits a guy like Guy, who's a total dickhead.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know, I don't even know where to start.
And then Ma calling the TV the box,
The
which
box,
again was
even though it was a fucking
okay.
flat screen TV.
Well, yeah. So Ma and Pa have a ranch. You know how expensive one fucking cow is
Any property.
to purchase and to feed?
Yeah.
You don't
That's my
think
point, is I was
that
like-
they have nicer stuff?
This is just one of those absolute misconceptions you could only have if you've never been on a farm ever in your
Then
life.
why would you have a fancy flat screen TV in your fucking trailer?
Well, it did look
a lot of people do nowadays.
it did look like kind of an older flat screen, but yeah, it's
But
one of
still,
those.
I was confused. What era are we in? Because
If
they
you-
would have modern stuff.
If you can afford several cows,
Several cows.
you can afford a house. You don't
Yeah.
need a fucking manufactured home. You don't need a fucking
Definitely
trailer.
don't.
it's just nonsense. It's just like he just
And then like seeing the bench that they sat on, which was all rusted
like
and
the
rickety.
front walkway from the door was all fucked up and shitty.
Right.
Like it's clearly just his impression of Midwesterners is you're a fucking dumb hick with shitty property and bad hair. And apparently
bad hair.
Kansas is now in the deep fucking south because she sounds like she's from like not even Kentucky. She sounds like she's like from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And they just made them look like yeah, they're nice, but they seem like fucking dumb, simple
They're nice,
country
but
folk.
like
Not like his very smart, eloquent, good-natured parents who taught him
Right.
valuable life lessons.
Right.
And he didn't even get his moral. That's the thing. He didn't get his
Yeah.
morals from the Kents. He
Yeah.
got them from what he thought Jor-El and Laura were trying to tell him, which he didn't even know, because apparently he doesn't speak Kryptonian, because why would he?
fair.
But also then how the fuck did they decode? There's so many fucking things that don't make
There's
any
so much
sense.
wrong with that.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so he...
Well, but then
It seems like he became Superman because he thought his parents sent him there to be a good person.
But the
Not because the
first
Kents
thing-
raised him to be a good person,
Right.
but because he thought he had some like Jesus-type Christ complex to come to Earth and save us from ourselves. And then when that got shattered, he was like, oh no, why am I even doing anything good? It's like, I don't know, because your fucking parents live here? Because you're a nice person, but I guess not.
no, I mean the very first thing he said is more the truth, which is my parents sent me here so that I wouldn't die.
Yeah.
It's as plain as fucking simple as that.
That's
They
true.
didn't have any other ulterior motive other than keeping their son alive.
Well-
they did not think that he was going to go conquer other planets or maybe even
But
become a superhero or
in this they
anything.
did.
But in this, yeah, they were evil. I guess maybe they're not like evil. They're
they're
just like
assholes.
trying to save their race and stuff, which is kind of understandable. But the way they went about it was like, yeah, those people down there are fucking stupid, and you can totally take over and be a dictator.
Yeah.
And it's like, or maybe we don't have to do it that way.
Go fuck a whole planet. That's how we're gonna save Krypton.
Oh yeah, and the whole I want you to take many wives was really disgusting and
Yeah,
fucked up.
That's, again, this whole movie's projection, by the way. The whole movie is James Gunn projecting his fucking fucked up weird bullshit onto the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
And being like, yeah, that's what you would do if you were super powerful, right? You would fuck every single woman you possibly can and have a million babies.
Right.
It's like, yeah, if you're a weird creep, which the fucking House of L is not.
I mean, I guess it is now.
It is now. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, I never really liked that in other versions too, where like, it's even in the old Christopher Reeve movie. Jor-El has like this, not like a prophecy, but he's like, you're gonna be this great hero and you're gonna show humanity the way and like guide them and guide their civilization and make sure that they, you know, like find inspiration and hope and advancement and blah blah blah. And like that's all cool. I never really liked that. I never liked the whole idea of like the Kryptonians being so advanced that they're like this almost godlike celestial race, because that's kind of how that sounds. It's like we're gonna go shape civilizations, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I prefer the thing I'm most biased towards, which is the old animated series where they're an advanced civilization and Jor-El's a scientist, so he found out that Earth would not only be a habitable environment, but a very, very productive environment for Clark, or for Cal, because he would probably have enhanced abilities there. He's like, it'll probably be really, really good for him. Like, but he wasn't like, but that's why he's gonna go conquer or like fucking like be the shining light of humanity. He was just like, no, this is a safe place for our son. He'll do well there. That's where we're sending him. It was just practical. I never liked the whole like higher purpose thing where they're like almost prophesying that he's gonna be a superhero. Because I'm like, I think that's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
But in this, they're like straight up, they just, like I said, they stole the fucking twists from other comics that are derivatives of Superman, like Invincible with the Boys. They're like, we're gonna take
Yeah.
the Viltrumite evil dad twist, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna take the fucking evil clone dressed in a spooky black costume twist from the Boys.
That
I'm
was
just like,
so stupid.
which,
Clark has to fight himself.
that's the level, yeah. Oh yeah.
But then they didn't even really do
There you
that
go.
in an interesting way either.
There's a layer I didn't even fathom because I was so fucking annoyed with how stupidly overstimulated this movie
Yeah.
was. But like, yeah, I get it. He's like, oh, who am I? I'm struggling with myself, so I'm literally gonna fight myself. And when they do that in movies,
But they didn't even do it in an interesting way in this movie.
Well, yeah, he was just
Sometimes it's interesting, but this was so shallow. It was like exactly that was an afterthought.
he
to
was
you.
just a puppet to Luthor, and I'm like, right, so he could have been
Right.
anybody.
Right.
It could have been a robot. It could have been Metallo. It could have been Bizarro. It could have been whoever. But it was just a clone of Superman.
Which to me really doesn't feel like Clark is fighting himself. in
No,
that.
he's fighting a
He's
meat
fighting
puppet.
like a, I don't know, like a weird copy of, I guess that's what it usually is if you're fighting yourself in movies. It's
Well,
like
sure,
a weird
yeah.
clone or a weird copy or
But
a
you can
weird
definitely do that with more subtlety.
whatever. But this was like the whole movie, he didn't know that it was him.
Yeah, he had no idea. And also, there's just that, there's just too much shit in this movie anyway. But that's also, that's what, my first thing I noticed was, the Superman clone storyline,
Yeah.
whatever way you go with it, that's a whole movie.
Sure,
An
yeah.
interdimensional rift that might threaten the whole planet, that's a whole movie.
movie,
The
yeah.
kaiju, that's a whole movie. Your Kryptonian heritage isn't what you thought it was. That's a whole movie.
Yeah.
You have 17 fucking movies in this comic book movie.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that ever since Guardians, where he's just been going up and up and up with the stakes. He can't come back down.
Right.
Suicide Squad was probably the lowest stakes movie he's made since Guardians 1. And that was still an entire country's gonna get fucking murdered by this alien starfish. It's still not low stakes.
yeah.
And yeah, it was just there were so many of these half the characters I was you didn't need the Justice League in this, or the Justice
Not at
Gang,
all.
or whatever.
Stupid Justice
You didn't need the
Gang.
Engineer, you didn't need Ultraman.
I don't even think you needed Lex's Planet Watch storyline or thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it
what
just
did
felt
they
like
even
he was.
do?
It felt like he was trying to add in more and more action figures.
The merch.
Yeah, kinda. More in a storytelling sense of I want this piece and this piece and this piece because they're all cool. But yeah, for merchandise too. It's look at all these fucking toys we can sell. Which is exactly what they did to Batman and Robin, and that's why that movie was crap.
Yeah.
That's what the studio was focused on. Was make sure you add all this stuff in for merchandising, and that's how
Yeah.
this felt too. Which is so weird because again, even though there's the veneer, he does this a lot with the veneer of family friendly or wholesome, but really the actual messages of things you're pushing are really cynical and gross. But it's oh, but look, he doesn't curse. He's such a nice blah blah blah. But it's yeah, he's nice in the fake sense of the
He really
word nice.
doesn't curse.
He's nice in the sense of oh, I want to do good, but you are not a nice person. You fly off the handle and you don't think, and you're not considerate of others.
I was gonna say he's not at all considerate.
He's actually not a good person in this movie, and I don't like him. He's the fake nice. He's oh, I when people make weird dating metaphors where they're nice guys finish last. You're oh, the nice guy thinks if he holds a door before they're gonna fuck him right there. And I'm yeah, that's how he feels. He feels I say nice things. Yeah, but you don't do nice things.
Well, exactly. And then when he was I wanted to do a nice thing. This is
You put the whole world at risk because you interfered in a foreign conflict that has nothing to do with you.
But babe, people were gonna die.
I don't give a fuck.
All right.
People die every minute
That was
from
the most confusing part
heart
too,
disease
'cause
and
it's
natural disaster. Do
how
you stop
are
all of
you-
those?
Who are you choosing to help and not help when everyone is
Right.
dying and in conflict all around the world all the time?
Well, and
Why was that the one that you chose to
I
go
don't-
and deal with?
I don't love the Jesus imagery with Superman, but that's what Zack Snyder did because he was yeah, that was a question he was really focused on, which was, yeah, how does Superman decide when and where and how to intervene? And that is an interesting question, but this movie wasn't really interested in that question. It was just no, it's obviously good that he's stopping global conflicts and threatening fucking world leaders. I'm yeah, you can't fucking do that. And this movie didn't solve that problem. I remember that was the thing that I kept talking about in the trailer that I made that other video on, that I was
Yeah.
I think this is a massive problem and indicative of James Gunn's lack of ability to understand this character or to do right with him. And the movie fucking proved me 1000% right. So much so to the point where Hawk Girl's a fucking international war criminal now.
I was gonna say, what was up with that?
The sequel's not gonna deal with that. It's Superman doesn't kill. He'll threaten you and rub your ass on a cactus, that's fine. But he doesn't kill. But he will still, use coercion and blackmail and threats of death to get what he wants politically, and that's cool for him to do. Hawk Girl will just assassinate the leader of a country. She doesn't give a fuck, I guess. Even though she's 14. I don't even know how
Well,
old
that's why
she
she
is.
doesn't give a fuck. She's that's what I was thinking. They made
But the
her
movie-
act like that teenage girl from the other movie I was telling you about.
The movie thought that was a good thing.
that she killed
That she killed the
guy.
evil dictator guy, who, by the way, even if he is an evil dictator, there's a way we do things. The United Nations has rules. And here's the thing. I remember everybody was talking about the war thing, where they're like, oh, is this going to be a metaphor for, like, Russia-Ukraine, or, like, Israel-Palestine, or whatever? And some of the reviews I saw before we went said, like, no, it's not anything specific. It's like, it could be anything. I'm like, no, it's abso-fucking-lutely Israel-Palestine.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Because you had a multi-ethnic, but mostly light-skinned, highly advanced military who has all the advantage, saying that they're stopping the evil, corrupt country, which actually turns out is weak and full of women and children on the front lines. And it's like, right, yeah, so that's fucking Hamas, right? Except the movie makes it seem like they were there, like, protesting, but with, like, AK-47s. And that side, Jaipur's all poor-looking brown people who are all clearly Arab and are going to get dominated by this technologically advanced first world nation that is either Middle Eastern or Eastern European. You can't tell, but it's fucking clearly Israel. Like, the guy didn't look like Putin. He didn't really look like anybody, but if he looked like anyone, it was fucking Netanyahu, the president of Israel. Like, yeah, so clearly you just picked a side.
Right.
And apparently
And
you
so
think
did
Israel,
Clark.
you think Israel's corrupted, like you think Superman should free Palestine. The guy created by two fucking Jewish artists in the 30s who were protesting against the fucking Nazis who wanted to exterminate the Jews. You decided to use that character for anti-Jewish propaganda. Sweet. Thanks for that, Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it's fucking clearly like, this one, god damn it. I just don't even know what to say.
There's so much going on in that movie that there wasn't anything going on in that movie.
Yeah, that's
You know
like,
what
it was
I'm
all
saying?
weightless and stupid. And the
It
CGI
was.
made everything feel floaty and cartoony and like not real. Like that whole Minecraft river thing we were
The
so fucking confused
Minecraft
about.
river really bothered me.
With the floating green baby.
I seriously thought the baby was dead.
The baby should be dead.
The
I don't know what
baby
kind of
should have
baby that
been
is,
dead.
because I don't know that much about
But
metaphor.
I also didn't understand what fucking kind of river black hole
It's
Minecraft
proton-
Lego
proton
nonsense they were
stuff.
in.
Anti-proton river
I thought that was a different
full of energy. I don't know.
Because it looked totally different
I don't
earlier.
know what any of that was because it
They
was long
said
enough.
Yeah, that's the problem too, is like your superheroes are already really like out there and fantastic, and when you make them get into conflicts that are tech related, like that just doesn't make sense to
Yeah,
me.
I
I can't wrap my head around any of that shit that Lex was doing, except the only thing that
still
I
don't.
kind of thought they were doing was like, oh, Lex is the better Tekken player. Combo, smash! Like, that is 100%.
Roundhouse.
Yeah, that's 100% what I felt like it
That
was
is how it felt.
for
Yeah, it
Lex.
felt video gamey. And
It
like
was
all the
video
guys in
gamey.
his control room who were all like fucking nerdy dudes, by the
Yeah.
way. And like, I wasn't as heavy-handed as I thought I was gonna be able to, like, but he is supposed to be Elon. That's why he had like a 14-year-old Asian with braces and glasses running his tech for him.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Well, at one point they zoomed in on that kid, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's
Oh.
a joke about fucking Doge, isn't it?"
Yeah,
fucking,
maybe.
fucking Big Balls is entering the super combo that's gonna take down Superman.
I mean, if anyone's gonna do it, it's Big Balls.
Look out, Superman! Big Balls!
Big Balls is a better Tekken player than you. And that really like took me out of the fight scenes as well, because I don't know why, I just didn't like that interpretation.
Well, and it was this cartoony level of like how they handled everything, which is, it's the same thing with the Guardians movies too, which is, it's this weightless, floaty CGI action that, in this case, because you were using a character who you've decided in this version, Superman doesn't kill, which is pretty common. He doesn't always
That
not
he
kill.
does later.
But at this point, no, it's like he didn't, like, none of those guys that he lasered the fuck out of,
Yeah.
hundreds of feet up in the air,
Yeah.
in their power armor, they're all fine. Like,
What do you mean?
it didn't show them dying, so they're fine.
Oh.
Like, they all just fucking plummeted to Earth at 1,000,000 miles an
I
hour.
was
They're getting
gonna
lasered
say-
in the face and chest, but they're all fine.
They're not.
Because
They would
you
be dead.
decided Superman doesn't kill, and therefore you're not going to actually have any of the action in the movie have consequences.
If-
You're just going to say, yeah, well, if Superman doesn't kill, then none of the actions he takes are deadly.
If-
Even though they clearly fucking are.
If Superman doesn't kill, he cannot use his laser eyes
You
on
can't
human
use your
beings.
lasers on normal people. I don't care what armor they're
I don't
wearing.
care if
It
they have
might.
power suits.
it might kill them. You
Imagine-
don't know that it won't kill them, so you shouldn't take the risk.
Imagine if he did that to Iron Man's suit.
Yeah, it would fucking probably cut right through.
Exactly. And Iron Man is like, has one of
Has
the best
really
suits.
awesome armor, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would imagine Lex is probably on par with Tony Stark's because he's also a genius.
On par, maybe, but
Well,
probably not better.
But
than-
also, like, Superman punched a guy who was flying up in the air with him hard enough to knock his teeth out, but no blood, and it didn't smash his fucking head into a million pieces.
Right.
And when
Definitely
Crypto
should have.
mauled the fuck out of Lex Luthor, nothing really bad happened to Lex. He's fine.
That's
Because the action
true.
means nothing because this movie has no consequences.
Well, what was this movie rated?
PG-13.
Maybe that's why.
Of course it is, but that's my point. Is I'm like, that's my point. Is James Gunn decided this is a cartoon. He decided it's a goofy, silly, fun, schlocky comic book movie. They kept mentioning Silver Age. They kept mentioning the Silver Age of comics in all the fucking interviews, and all that meant was it's gonna be fucking stupid.
No.
It just means nothing's going to be taken seriously and we're going to act like it's a fucking cartoon show. Because nothing from the Silver Age comics is actually in there except for Crypto. That's the only thing. That's what they keep referencing. They're just like, oh, you remember the 50s when everything was dumb as fuck and we made a goddamn super dog?
Wouldn't it be fun if we did that?
And a super monkey and a super horse and a bunch of other stupid shit.
No, you just called it dumb as fuck. Why
Right.
are you doing that?
And that's the thing, is like, I like goofy stuff in certain areas, but I've talked to you about it before, but like,
Yeah.
if you're adapting comic books or cartoons to live action, you are inherently grounding it. People are not going to be able to take the movie seriously when they see real humans taking real damage that has no real consequences because you're giving it cartoon physics. When you
Right.
put things with real people, I think you're a little bit obligated to make it less silly than it was in its original form. So, like,
Yeah, you need
Obviously,
to ground it a little bit
we're-
somewhere.
we're going to be in a universe with super people with magic green rings and
No,
flying
meta-humans.
flying aliens who can shoot lasers out of their eyes. I'm like, yeah, of course. And that's why you have to explain those things as best you can in a way that the audience can accept so that it feels real to them. But
Yeah.
when you just decided, we're not even going to bother, we're going to let everything feel completely unreal and silly, well, then it might as well be animated. There isn't any point in even having it be a live action movie at that point. You might as well just make an animated film, which I'd be fine with. I love animated superhero stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like I don't think Man of Steel did a much better job. Like, that movie's not good either, but it did feel like Zack Snyder was trying to ground it in reality and make you believe that these are actual aliens on our actual Earth, as opposed to silly, weightless cartoons.
Right.
I don't think he did a great job, but it was clear that that was his aim. James was like, nah, fuck it, it's all dumb bullshit anyway, because he doesn't even like Superman.
Right.
He
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck.
Then don't take this job.
Well, and like, for the most part, there's a little bit of that in the Suicide Squad also, but that did feel a little more grounded. It was still bright and colorful, but it didn't feel like crazy, impossible bullshit the whole movie.
Right.
Because again, I feel like the premise of that was inherently grounded. It's a squad of people going on a secret mission to a real place. So, like, yeah, some of them have superpowers and one of them's a big shark, but like, what they're doing feels like it's having real impact on the world around them. Because a lot of them are just guys with guns. Or like, he's a big shark, he'll bite you, but like, that's a real physical thing. Like, we know what a shark bite looks like.
Right.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And this was just so all over the place. And then the fact that they even, like, the way they started the movie,
With all the text.
yeah,
That was really
like,
irritating.
I knew that the movie was going to center around a fake military conflict or whatever. I didn't know we weren't going to fucking see it.
We weren't
I
going
didn't-
to see it.
Yeah, I didn't know we weren't actually going to see what Superman did, because to me, that was going to, like, when I was analyzing the trailer, that was going to add a lot of context for whether or not I thought it was okay for Superman to do what he does.
Yeah, and then the way he explained it, I was like, well, that sounds
Well, and so,
really
yeah,
dumb.
it seemed like a cop-out at first where it was like, we're just not going to show you what he did. I'm like, oh, you cowards. But then, later, he did explain exactly what happened. And it was for comedic effect. And I'm like, but Lois will... Here's the thing. There's a couple things I didn't like about Lois in this. Like, I didn't like the whole punk rock angle, or the fact that she was, like, really distant and didn't want to date Clark or be open with him.
Did not understand that.
But everything else about Lois in this movie I liked, and she seemed in character, and I thought she did a good job. And she was 1000% right the whole movie. And
Uh-huh.
Clark's a fucking retard. And she was absolutely right to be skeptical and to question it because he's an irresponsible jackass. He's a giant man-child with the power of God who uses it irresponsibly. He's not a good person.
Right.
And he's like, that's the thing, is that the fake nice thing. He didn't give a fuck about torturing the leader of a country he decided it was bad.
They were just little cactuses.
But he's so concerned about the lives of animals.
The squirrel, yeah. And then get crypto. Who's not even his
And
dog.
the giant fucking monster that was destroying the city. He's like, don't kill the giant evil fire-breathing dragon monster. It's like, fuck you, it's a giant monster. It's
Right.
killing people.
Right.
It's causing real death and destruction around you, and you're worried about it. Like, I agreed with Mr. Terrific. I was like, you're being a fucking loser
Yeah.
right now. Like, why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, bad people think is nice. Like, oh, be nice to animals, but I'm totally fine with that billionaire I hate getting shot in the back of the fucking head. But if you're mean to a dog, I'll fucking kill you. It's like, yeah, that's not being nice. I
Right.
like dogs too, and I would never want to hurt a dog. But if it was between a dog and a human being, the dog loses. I'm sorry. Human lives are more valuable than dog and squirrel and giant monster
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
Like, that's, to me, I'm like, that shows James Gunn's mentality. You're not actually a good person.
No,
You
it's
fake
not.
being a good person through surface level gestures like that. It's like, oh, look, he saved a dog. Oh, look, he saved a squirrel. He's concerned about animal life.
I
Like,
was
but he'll
gonna-
straight up torture a fucking foreign dignitary because he decides
Yeah,
to.
sure. Yeah,
Oh, it's just a little bit.
well, and that's the thing is like when he was saying like people were gonna die and he needed to stop it or whatever, he only took one of the leaders. He didn't.
Yeah, you didn't
take
grab both of them,
leaders.
which, by the way-
So you are picking a side.
Yeah.
You said this leader is worse than that leader, and
Yeah.
this leader needs a
These
talking
people are
to.
correct.
Yeah, he did absolutely take a side.
Which even when I
But I feel like Superman used to say like his side is his own side, but if he has to choose, he's an American.
I mean, he is an American, and like sometimes he's forsaken his citizenship, or like probably like a local citizen, which is gay and not a real thing. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, even in the Golden Age comics, the other ones I've been reading more lately, there's two examples. There's one that they took the name for this movie from it as, or Two Ghosts of the Nation, or no, it wasn't Baravia, it was something else. No, it was like the first or second Superman story. He takes these two like unnamed nations at war, or maybe it was like a civil war, and he brings the two leaders of both sides together and says, "Why are you fighting?" And then they say something stupid that's not realistic, like, "Oh, we just wanted to sell weapons." It's like, yeah, there's no other reason for it. The point being is, in that example, he took both leaders and
Right.
said, "You're going to come to peace terms and stop this fighting right now." And I'm like, I still don't like that, but that's better than picking a side.
Yeah,
And then he did it again in it wasn't canon, but it was like a little what-if story. That Mary Siegel and Joseph Sturgill was like the original writers. Once the war kicked off, once World War II kicked off, they wrote a little comic about how would Superman handle the war. And he takes Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin and brings them together in a room and says, "You two are gonna knock it off," and then they basically like go to jail for war crimes. He didn't pick a side. He didn't say Russia's right or Hitler's right. He said, "You're both wrong. Stop fighting." Which, if you're going to say war is bad, that's the correct answer. You don't pick a side. You say you're both wrong. Come to peace terms.
like it's kind of like
Like-
when you're at school and someone picks
Yeah.
a fight with you. If you fight back, you're still in the wrong, even if they antagonize
Yeah, that's
you.
that's why the
So
fucking
you
principal.
both get detention.
Yeah, that's why the principal treats you for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's being impartial. That's not, because as your principal, you shouldn't just say, "Well, Timmy's right all the time and Brad's a dickhead." It's like, well, no, boys, both of you are not supposed to be fighting. You need to be respectful and stay in class. So yeah, and this, he was straight up like, "Nope, Israel's wrong. Fuck them. Fuck the Jews.
Yes.
I hate them. The Jews are controlled by Elon Musk." Or vice versa, I don't know.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Oh, that's what I was going to say like 5 minutes ago. Why the fuck did Lex open the rift? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I
don't-
thought it was because they destroyed the portal.
But he
out
had,
on the
yeah, but he had
stupid
several.
beach.
He had several
Well,
portals.
maybe he couldn't. He said they were all around the world, so maybe that was the one closest to him.
No, but he had one. He had one in that office, in the control room with them.
Then I don't know.
That's what I mean. I was like, I can't
I
remember.
don't remember.
I think he just randomly decided, I'm going to leave it open and destroy Metropolis to maybe it was to distract Superman. I don't know. I guess, because he
Or-
still wanted the conflict. Because I guess he gave up on Metropolis and he was like, no, I'm going to go live in half of Moravia. That's my new thing. And I'm like, that's dumb. Metropolis is obviously better than this shitty Middle Eastern
Yeah.
country. Like, his whole motivation, like, I don't even know why you want that. That is cartoon levels
No,
of, like...
I don't think he was gonna go live there. I
No,
think he
he
just
was.
wanted to own it.
No, that's the thing. He was going to rule the country. Half the country. That was his motivation in the film. Which is, like, an almost shittier version of the old Gene Hackman version from the Christopher Reeve movie, where he wanted to, like, blow up the fault line and, like, sink California off into the ocean so that he can own all the land. 'Cause that's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that was all his schemes. I think Superman Returns.
That was
All of Lex's schemes were like real estate schemes, where he's like, I want to own land. Like even in Superman 2, he's like, if the Kryptonians kill Superman and I help them, I want Australia. Like he wanted his like, we're going backwards in time to being like, you know what's better than being a billionaire with your own company and lots of money? Being president of Australia or fucking like half of Moravia. Like, why the fuck would he want that? He's like one of the richest, smartest men on the planet. Why the
Yeah.
hell would that be his motivation? And I guess also he wants to kill Superman, which we just have to take for granted. It's because
Yes.
Lex is a dickhead, like he usually is, and he doesn't like Superman until he gives a big speech in the end telling us his exact motivations and all his feels of why, his little emotions, like, you make me jealous and sad and glad, I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cry now. Because everybody cries in this fucking
Everyone
movie.
cries in this movie.
Nobody acts like a man. And fucking Metamorpho, too. That was so fucking weird.
I don't even know what purpose.
Well, that's it. He didn't need to be in the movie either.
Not at
Because
all.
they decided arbitrarily there is no more kryptonite. Somehow they got rid of all the kryptonite on Earth. So now we need a guy to make the kryptonite. Like, or you could have just had that there's not a lot of kryptonite, but obviously Lex has some, because he always
Right, because
does.
he usually does.
Because
This person's
you want that...
turn off their
Yeah, those are
brights.
brights.
It's so annoying
It's
that people
really
don't
annoying.
know when to turn their fucking brights off.
It's always a truck, too.
Anyway,
But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you just made the movie more complicated than it needed to be. Like it was genuinely like you wanted to stuff as many characters in the movie as possible to like set
Yeah,
up his
I
DC
think
universe,
so.
and I'm like,
probably,
just take it slow. If you just made a simple Superman movie without 5 million other fucking characters,
yeah.
it probably would have been successful. I mean, it might still be successful. I don't know. I fucking hope not, but
I hope not. It was terrible.
I mean, we fucking paid to see it because well, I guess we're suckers. I don't know.
No, I didn't want to see it. You want to post a shitty review about it. Well, it'll be a good review about a shitty movie.
Thanks,
what I
baby.
mean.
I appreciate that caveat.
Yeah.
Nice save.
No, you wanted to see it so that you could review it. I always knew it was going to be shit,
I mean, I did too, but
yeah, I had no interest in seeing this
and
after
then
the Mon
Supergirl
Claw thing,
being a
and then
total twat at the end,
Supergirl being drunk,
dumb bitch.
dumb bitch who also calls Clark a bitch. Thanks for watching my dog, bitch.
Yeah, that's so mean.
Like, what was even that about?
What
Like,
even is your
why-
relationship? Do you like each other?
Exactly.
And also-
I thought Crypto was his dog.
Well, he normally is, but yeah, I guess he's not now. And that's okay. So that excuses the why he's not well trained, but at the same time, it's like,
Sure.
that's one of the many things. Like nobody respects Clark at all. Like nobody gives him any regard. They don't think he's cool or noble or a good person or strong or intimidating. And basically, I was like, that was one of the things that I thought in the trailer when they first released that clip of fucking Crypto nipping at his heels. It was like, would you respect a guy who couldn't control his own dog?
His dog.
Yeah. Like that's like animal instinct levels of like, wow, the fucking dumb animal doesn't respect you. Why would I respect you?
That's like why I was confused when at the beginning Crypto was jumping all over him and like hurting him because I was like, normally your pet knows that you're hurting and they
I've
don't do
never
stuff like
had
that.
a dog like that.
I mean, Red was like that. My
Yeah, but-
mom's dog was
But
like
he
that.
would like accidentally nip your hand too hard when he was playing with you.
No, but I mean, Red will jump on you and
Yeah.
pull you down to the floor and keep jumping on your body because he was a puppy.
Right.
But like we didn't get any context of like, is Crypto a puppy or is he an adult? And if he's Clark's dog, then you would think that he would know when Clark was in pain and he would know how to help him, because that's the point of having a dog.
And again, this is the problem with like self-inserting your own shit as you tell on yourself. You got a shitty rescue dog that you were unable to train, James. So you were so scared of your own dog that you had to type on your fucking kitchen counter so the dog couldn't get at your feet, because you couldn't command the dog, because you command zero respect.
Yeah, right.
Because the animal doesn't care about you. It's not afraid of you. It doesn't respect you.
Right.
Even for like you being its provider that gives it food. So
Right,
you're
exactly.
like, right, so that's how like all guys are with their dogs. Like, no, faggot, just you.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah.
Oh, farmers are dumb idiots who don't have property. No, retard.
They have the most
They have
property.
the most property. You don't know shit about farmers. You're a fucking idiot.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, I remember what I was gonna say way earlier at the beginning when you were saying like Clark is not even a nice guy. It's like case in point, the very first nice thing he tries to do for Lois is to make her favorite food, and then you find out it's not even
It's not her favorite food.
it's Clark's favorite.
And you broke into her house to do it.
And you broke into her house to do it.
And you've only been dating for 3 months.
3 months. So you're dating for 3 months. You break into her house to cook her favorite meal for a 3-month anniversary, which doesn't make
That's not a
sense.
thing.
And yeah, and then Lois tells you it's not my favorite, it's your favorite. Okay, so right off the bat, Clark is not considering his girlfriend.
No.
He's considering himself.
Right.
And then when
He's
he's
a
like,
selfish
yeah, you
super
can
dickhead.
totally interview me, and just like you would interview anybody else. And at this point, you should know Lois is kind of like a hard ass on interviews. Like, she doesn't let up.
Yeah.
And he let her do it, and then whined like a bitch and cried and had a fight with his girlfriend that he was trying to do something nice for, and then bailed on her
that's the
on
thing,
their
too.
3-month
Yeah.
anniversary.
As soon as she made you feel
I would have
uncomfortable.
broken up with him immediately, because you can't even stick around
Yeah.
for a conversation and some pancakes.
She should. break
That's
up
how
with him. Like,
sensitive
you
you are?
are a piece of shit. And honestly, so again, this is the sort of thing where I'm like, I'm seeing more and more things as I'm reading more and more older comics that like maybe James did read these and he's pulling from this, but I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to be pulling from. Stuff that was in like the early days, like 30s and 40s of Superman comics. Clark did publish interviews of himself. He did interview Superman and then get headlines that way.
Sure.
And later
I mean,
versions.
Peter Parker took pictures of
Sure,
himself.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but like pictures are one thing, that's just hard to get. Like nobody could get good pictures of Spider-Man except for Spider-Man, which you think would make it a really bad cover. But anyway, Clark used to do that. He used to selfishly use his super identity, his secret identity, to get ahead. And then later writers of cartoons and movies and other versions thought, well, that's a little selfish and not fair and not very fucking ethical. And you're supposed to be a good moral
Yeah, you're
person.
supposed to be a journalist.
So maybe he shouldn't do that. Maybe instead, and this is not totally ethical either, but maybe you would use it to help one of your coworkers get ahead. And who's his primary coworker? Lois. Who he also has a little bit of a crush on, and it's a nice thing to do for her. But it doesn't get him any credit because she doesn't know he's Clark. So it just seems like
She
Superman.
doesn't know he's Clark.
Yeah.
She doesn't know Clark is Clark.
No, Superman.
Oh,
So Superman.
she doesn't?
Well, in a lot of versions, yeah. Superman. No, she did in this.
In this, she did.
In this, she knew. Which is, by the way, 3 months. That's not long enough to be telling that secret.
Right.
But no, yeah. In a lot of versions, Superman will basically approach Lois for an interview. He'll pick her as a reporter because she's usually one of the first ones she encounters because he saves her from something, and because also Clark knows her personally, so he likes her, so he wants to help her out.
And
And
she's supposed to be a really
She's supposed to
honest
be a really good and
journalist,
honest
too.
journalist. So there's lots of reasons he chooses to give Lois the step up by letting her get exclusive with Superman instead of himself.
Right.
So it's usually like that's a more noble thing to do. Yes, it's with a girl you like, but that's not what you're trying to do because you're not telling her that you like her. Superman is. And Superman's not even saying he likes her. He's just saying, you seem like a good journalist. I want to get some information about me out there so people aren't afraid of me. Would you
Sure.
like to do an interview? And she goes, hell yeah. Of course I do. So, like, there's lots of good reasons why, but in this, it seemed like in this, because that's the only bit we get of him working at the planet, Clark doesn't know fucking shit about journalism because Lois has to tell him everything that he's doing wrong in the interview process. And the only thing,
everyone is too when they're bragging on his article that he
Yeah.
wrote. They're like, "Why'd you write such shit? You suck at writing."
yeah, it seems like he used Superman to get a job as a journalist, and he's not a very good
He's
journalist.
not actually there on his merit.
Right.
That's
Even though
frustrating too.
Usually he goes to college and goes to school for journalism and legitimately becomes a journalist. And see, this, it seems like he faked his fucking way there by being Superman.
Right,
Which is bullshit and not good and not ethical.
Well, it's because
And not nice.
Ma and Pa didn't fucking teach him anything,
Oh, yeah.
apparently.
Yeah. Apparently they're the poorest fucking farmers on earth and he probably didn't fucking go to college, I bet.
Probably not, actually.
Because they couldn't afford it with their farm.
They have too many cows.
Too many cows,
They're
not enough money.
expensive, I told you.
Yeah, they only take money in. No money comes out of owning a goddamn farm.
Yeah.
So how do they own a farm?
Yeah, the whole thing was really, really frustrating. I felt like the tone
It's all over
of
the
every
place.
scene was completely wrong for the scene that it was in.
Yeah, and there were so many fucking. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, the
And then,
scene.
yeah, the freaking from scene to scene, the tone changed so much, and it was so confusing. Like, again, what fucking era are we in?
The scene. I didn't even. I
Don't
fucking-
know.
I fucking forgot. The scene where, oh, everybody dislikes me on the internet now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go pound in my apartment while a fucking interdimensional imp, which literally looks like a giant eyeball laser, is fucking attacking the city. I'm just gonna let my friends handle it. I went out of my fucking way to save a squirrel earlier, but
Yeah.
I'm sad right now, so I'm not gonna try to save as many lives as
So
possible.
basically, I'm gonna let my emotions override my duty
That's
to save
not
lives.
what Superman does.
Because I care about what people say about me on the internet. Hashtag super shit.
I can't believe the fucking. You know that specifically bothers me when you say that.
I know.
You fucking child.
And just his character like would not give a shit about that.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm
He
like,
might be like, that's stupid or something,
that's what I
but it's
mean.
not gonna turn him into. It's not gonna give him an existential crisis where he just was pouting.
It's that thing of like the traits the character's been known to have collectively, like lots of different versions, but overall, in most representations, Clark's a certain way. He has a certain stoicism, he has a certain level of morality, and a level of temperament that he has, usually. And you just decided because you, James Gunn, aren't that good, you're not that mature, you're not that nice of a person, you cannot conceive of a man that good and moral and in control of himself who just does good things. So you have to make him more like you. You have to make him a fucking whiny man-child who doesn't like what people say about him on the fucking internet.
Right?
Because that's your biggest fucking concern as a Hollywood director.
I don't know why Clark would even be concerned about
I don't think he would be.
the internet at large at all, being a journalist who still gets things in print.
Like, he might, I mean, I think as a journalist in an age of social media, you would have to, but that's also why I wouldn't fucking set a Superman movie in an age with social media, because I just don't think it, I don't think it works. I
I
don't know.
think that part was really awful too, because I understand it's like a commentary on how society is now. We're all way too attached to our phones or whatever. But like the amount of times you see people just casually enjoying the destruction by recording it on their phones
Yeah.
or taking pictures or being stupid was like, no one in their right mind would actually be, no one in their right mind who's not a news crew or a journalist would not be standing in the middle of the square while a giant monster is like about to crush you and you're sitting there taking a video
That's one of those, like,
enjoying the day.
he thinks that's funny, and
Not
from
funny.
and from his perspective, he's like, yeah, people are that stupid. I'm like, no, they actually aren't. I think I have a more.
Not quite that
He
stupid.
kept talking about how this movie was going to be all about hope and optimism. I'm like, you don't have an optimistic view of humanity if you think that they would just watch their city getting destroyed casually because it's just another
Yeah.
Tuesday in Metropolis.
Exactly.
Which I get the point that he's trying to get across there is this is an established world, crazy shit happens all the time. And again, that whole fucking thing of like,
Then again,
oh,
how do you even still have a city?
there's been fucking metahumans for 300
there
years.
monsters right
I
now?
didn't even get that. Because I was like, I heard him say that in an interview before the movie, and I was like, who though? Who 300 years ago that was a metahuman was around? I'm thinking like through DC Comics history, I'm like, fucking, I don't know, like fucking Ra's al Ghul. Like, I don't even know. Vandal Savage, but I'm like, but they would have been secret, that you wouldn't have known about them. So how do you know? How do you know that there have been people with powers on Earth for that long?
Right.
I don't even get that. But that was just to say, this is a wacky, crazy comic book universe. People are used to giant kaijus and shit destroying everything. I'm
Sure.
like, I'm sorry. I don't care what year it is or how long.
No one's ever gonna get used to
No
that.
one's ever gonna just film a laser being shot directly at them in a coffee
Yeah.
shop because they want to get the fucking clicks on YouTube. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Usually when they show that kind of stuff in movies, there are people like in the skyscrapers who
Right.
kind of can't
they're
do
far away
anything
from
else.
the damage or something.
Yeah, not directly in town square with the chaos. No. That's crazy.
Ugh.
And also the amount of times he did like the same move a lot when he saved people. It was always like, you're trying to get out of this thing that's about to crush you, and I am holding it up for you to go away from.
Yeah.
And he did that like 3 or 4 times with different
Well,
people
and a lot of
or
the times-
things. So I was a little bit bored by
Cartoon-
his moves.
Cartoon physics, so nothing matters. A lot of the times you did that, it just fucking wouldn't work. Like, you couldn't hold up the foot of the monster, it would crush you into the ground. You couldn't hold up a side of a building when it's collapsing.
When it's
on
crumbling,
a bridge,
yeah.
it would just crumble around you. And it did right after that, but the lady got away just in time. And then
Right,
it destroyed the
always.
bridge, and she got away from the destroyed bridge just in time. And I'm
Just
just like,
in time.
yeah, I know you can't have everything be fucking totally realistic because everybody would be dead. But then maybe that should tell you you should pare back your action a little bit so that not everybody fucking dies. Your hair is doing something just lovely right now.
It's because I'm pushing it back
Yeah, I saw that.
against the. It hurts to have a bun in the car.
Yeah.
Because it's pushing my neck forward.
Oh.
So, yeah, that scene with him watching the Justice stupid gang fight was fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's fucking.
That I feel like did not need to be in there.
Was
That
like
was one of those
ruins.
things
Not that his
where-
character wasn't always already ruined, but yeah, I'm like, wow, you're a piece of shit, Superman. You're gonna go mope instead of saving people,
Right.
just like Zack Snyder. So I guess it's not better. It's the same. It's the same level of stupid misunderstanding of a character, except that was like the dark, gritty version, and this is the bright, colorful, hyper autistic ADHD version. But it's the same bad writing. Like neither one of them understood the character at all.
Yeah.
But I will say, yeah, I think Man of Steel is better than this. They're both shit, but Zack Snyder wins by an inch.
You think so?
I do.
I feel like literally anything is better than this garbage.
I think so too.
Anything.
I mean, they killed just as many people. Like,
Allegedly.
a bunch of people are dead in this movie. This movie doesn't
Also-
acknowledge them, though. In Zack Snyder's movies, he eventually had to acknowledge it because Metropolis got fucking leveled. In this, he was like,
Yeah.
nah, everybody's fine. The fucking, a dimensional rift cracked open. How does that work?
Metropolis.
How does a dimensional rift crack open physical matter and then the physical matter gets sewn back together when the dimensional rift gets sewn back together? That's not how it works. If you
The
cut a
matter
hole,
didn't get sewn back together.
but
though.
the
It
ground
wasn't,
below
like,
it did.
repaired.
The ground below it did.
I thought it was still cracked.
It was,
Like,
but-
it was together,
but
but,
if-
it was cracked.
But if there's still a big crack, then it's not together.
Well, they cinched it, you could say.
That's what I'm saying, but it can't. You can't just because the building.
Nothing that happened in this movie is
I know.
Who fucking cares?
All right, that's enough. This is ridiculous.
It'll never be enough.
Well, that's about the long and short of it. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation, despite the scattered nature of our train of thought. I may do a more in-depth analysis of this movie down the road, but for now, all I can say in summary is that it is yet another modern bastardization of a beloved character made by a cynical director who has no love for the source material. Let me know your thoughts about the film in the comments, and I'll see you around.